Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my beautiful little pristine campsite here by the creek or river or something. Some water there anyway. Today we're having a bit of a look at sleeping pads. If you saw recently, I had a bit of a conundrum with my Cedar Summit Etherlite XT. There were like 3 holes popped in it from, I think it was from, rubbing on something in my duffel bag. But yeah, it was not ideal. Thankfully, I was able to patch it up. But it kind of got me to thinking about different options for sleeping pads, because the Etherlite XT, I actually looked it up. I paid something like $260 for it back when I got it, because I put holes in it. And I just wanted to have a bit of a quick look at the cost of replacing it now, and they are $399, so pretty much 400 bucks Australian. I mean, come on, 400 bucks for a sleeping pad. It got me to sort of thinking, well, there's got to be some better options, or some options that are as good at a more realistic welcome to planet Earth kind of price. And Flextail. If you guys saw recently, I did a bit of a video on some Flextail gear. They do the tiny little air mattress pump and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, Flextail were good enough to send me their Zero Pillow R05 to check out. Now, we'll go through a few of the differences with these two, but of course the big one is going to be the price. You're looking at just over half of the Cedar Summit. $400 for that. I could not believe that. So yeah, this particular one is $216.99, and you also get 15% off that with my little discount code. Now, all the details for that are going to be down in the description of the video, guys. I'm actually going to sleep on this tonight in the tent, and I've been sleeping on the Cedar Summit for years now. Been using that quite regularly, so we'll see if this is as good. If it is, it's a no-brainer, because I mean, the price, just the price alone. But there are other advantages to this one too, guys. Yeah, so the main difference apart from the price, you can see the packed size. So the Flextail is a little bit more chunky. Obviously they're the same, the same length there rolled up, but this one's a little bit chunkier. Now that is because this one is a 4-season mat. The Cedar Summit Etherlite XT is only a 3-season. Now the R value for this one is 5.6. That's resistance to thermal resistance. The R value on the Cedar Summit Etherlite XT is only 3.2. So 5.6 versus 3.2. So it's got more insulation, so it's going to keep you warmer. It's going to be good for those cold nights. Stops the cold coming up from the ground. So that's why it's more chunky, guys. It's a little bit more chunky because it's got more insulation. So with that difference in insulation, obviously there's a difference in weight, a very slight one. 688 grams for the Flextail, 630 grams for the Cedar Summit. So a difference of about 58 grams, not much. So yeah, the packed size, they're the same length, roughly 28 centimeters long. This one's 13 centimeters in diameter. This one's only 11, so slight 2 centimeter difference in diameter for the packed size. Inflated size, very similar. The Cedar Summit is a little bit thicker though, so we're going to see if that's going to make much difference. But yeah, basically inflated, they're both around about 183 by 65 centimeters, and just that difference. You got 10 centimeters thick here and 7 centimeters thick for the Flextail. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, before we go any further, I just want to quickly mention that one thing I find a little disappointing with the Flextail is that it does not come with a pump sack. Now, if you know what a pump sack is, the stuff sack that the Cedar Summit comes in also acts as a pump sack. So you can undo this side and you can use that to, you blow on it and you can pump up your sleeping pad with that. The thing is, I know that Flextail are trying to also sell their little electric pumps, because that's sort of what they're mostly known for, and that is fair enough. They want you to buy both of these things. And to be fair, since I've had the little zero pump from Flextail, I have not used the pump sack once. But having said that, it is nice to have, it's nice to have a backup if just in case the battery goes flat or this fails or whatever. You don't want to be sitting there going blowing up your airbed. You want to have, you know, at least a pump sack. Pump sacks are pretty good. The electric pump is better, but it's nice to have that backup. So yeah, no pump sack with this. Anyway, we're going to inflate them both, guys. We'll use the little Flextail Zero pump to inflate them both, and just take a bit of a look at them. And I'll be sleeping on this one tonight, as I said, and I'll report back in the morning, let you know if I found it comfortable enough, which I'm sure it will be. One more thing I will quickly mention about the Flextail is they do a lot more sort of comprehensive testing on the air tightness of these sleeping pads. You know, they have a, you know, they pump them up to a certain pressure, and they have a certain amount of load on them for a certain amount of time, and measure all the readings. And they really don't leak much air at all, which is awesome. And it's good that they do that level of testing with these. Ordinarily, I would, you know, blow this up inside the tent, but I want to, you know, show you guys. So it's a little bit more easier if we do it out here. So this is obviously the Flextail R05 sleeping pad. I'm going to pull that out. I thought when I first pulled it out of that bag, it was wrapped so tight. I thought there is absolutely no way that I'm going to be getting it back in that bag, but surprisingly enough, it wasn't that hard. It was actually quite easy. So yeah, you can definitely feel the, you know, the insulation in that. You know, it's not just 2 layers of vinyl or plastic or whatever. They do actually use a very similar valve size inflation hole, whatever you call this thing. It's the same, pretty much the same size as the Cedar Summit one, which is good, so I can use the same adapter. Obviously with this little Flextail Zero pump, you get a whole bunch of adapters for different sized nozzles on airbeds. But anyway, just remember guys, I got 15% off code for all this stuff, including the Zero pump and the sleeping pad and the pillow, which I'll show you guys shortly. So yeah, we just plug that in there. So yeah, once we got that in there, double press to turn it on. I actually find that this one takes a little bit longer to inflate than the Cedar Summit. I think the valve in it might be a little bit tight still, because it's quite new. So that's pretty much as far as it'll go. You can tell it's not putting any more air in there now. So we can turn it off, pop it out, pop in the what's it? So there you go. That is the Flextail Zero Mattress R05. It's bright, I'll give it that. Alrighty, I'll just do a quick demo of the pump sack. I'm sure all of you guys have seen a pump sack in action, but yeah, so as I said, that's it there. It comes out of one end of the stuff sack for the sleeping pad. We pull the actual sleeping pad out of the other end. Now the Cedar Summit is a much more subdued grey colour. Right, so the pump sack obviously plugs in where, you know, where the pump goes, and all you do, rather than sitting there and blowing a lung full of air in at a time into the bed, you just you blow that up, and that holds quite a lot of air. If you're sitting there blowing into this with your lungs, obviously, you know, you're going to fill that thing up with a lot of moisture. Your breath is full of moisture. Doing it this way, you're still getting a bit of moisture in there, but definitely not as much. Now, we'll get rid of that. So, as I said, that's a good backup, guys. It weighs nothing. It's, you know, it's pretty much foolproof, but the little pump is better. Very cool little pump this. As I mentioned in my review video, it'll pump one of these up 15 to 17 times before it needs a charge. And you know, you can get an optional rechargeable battery that goes in it. So yeah, really good. So yeah, as you can see, that one did pump up a bit quicker. Alright, so as you can probably tell, there is a difference in the design of these. This one, I think they call a standpipe design. It's just got the long tubes, whereas this one's sort of more, you know, the Cedar Summit's got like dimples or whatever you call it. But you can see in there the insulation, and if I just stand them side by side, yeah, pretty much the same size. So when they say that the Flextail's only 7 centimeters thick, I don't know if you guys can see that. It actually looks to me like the Flextail one's thicker, so that could be good. Anyway, I already know that I can lay on the Cedar Summit one when it's inflated like this. I can lay on my side and my hip doesn't touch the ground, my hip bone. The Flextail I'm hoping is going to be just as good. I think it will. But yeah, actually we'll test it out now before before it gets dark. I'll jump in and lay on it. At the end of the day, guys, this is you know, almost half the price of the Cedar Summit. So if it's good, it's good. Alright, I'll just quickly inflate my Zero pillow with the Zero pump, of course. I've got to say, guys, Flextail are killing it. Like, if you're a motorcycle camper or a hiker that needs some lightweight quality gear, they're definitely out there giving Cedar Summit a run for their money, and I'll tell you what, they're a lot cheaper. So yeah, we'll pump this guy up. Doesn't take a sec. Beautiful. It's a very nice little pillow, guys. You know, I've never been like, I'll be honest, I've never liked air mattresses. I've been converted. You know, you get a quality insulated one, they are really good. As far as pillow goes, I've never liked inflatable pillows, even more so than inflatable mattresses. But this one is good. This one is really good. Okay, hip test is a pass, easily. Yeah, if I take the rest of my, like if I just have my hip, basically the only thing touching the airbed, it touches the ground. But if I'm laying normally, it's not touching at all, nowhere near it. I will be honest, I kind of feel like this design, you know, the dimples design will be a little bit more comfortable than this standpipe design, but that's just me speculating. We'll see in the morning how comfortable of a night's sleep I have. Anyway, I think it's time to get a fire going and crack open another beer. I'll come back to you guys in the morning for a report on how well I slept on this Flextail sleeping mat. Catches in the morning. Cheers. Morning, guys. Excuse the rough head, but yeah, man, wow, what a good night's sleep that was. I don't know if I can, completely thank the Flextail sleeping pad for that. Considering how much alcohol I imbibed last night, I probably would have slept fine out on the rocks. but no, this thing is actually really comfortable. I'm trying to think. I think it's actually more comfortable than the Cedar Summit, just being a little bit thicker. Yeah, it's really, really comfortable. I can lay any way I like, and it's comfy as. Really happy with it. I'm definitely replacing the Cedar Summit with this one. You know, when you think about it, you can buy this pad, this pillow, and this pump all for less than the cost of the Cedar Summit pad by itself. So yeah, all the Zero gear from Flextail, guys. Zero pump, Zero pillow, and Zero sleeping mat. Good stuff. This pillow, honestly, I've got to say, it is so good. It's so good for an inflatable. Yeah, this whole setup is great. Oh, one more thing I wanted to quickly test or show you guys is, some of these sleeping mats are quite noisy on the floor of your tent. It's sort of more of a problem when you're sleeping in the same tent with your partner or whatever, and you've both got one of these sleeping mats, and the other person starts rolling around in the night. But this has actually got like a textured surface, so it's not sort of squeaky on the well, it's going to depend what your tent floor is made of, but this is sort of like tarpaulin material. But that's the sort of noise it makes. It's not a sticky, squeaky sound, and it's also good, like, your skin doesn't stick to it, like, real shiny vinyl, whatever it is, your skin sort of gets sticks to it. This is because of that texture. It's actually nice to lay on without a sheet or anything. Yeah, very happy with it. So of course guys, there'll be links to all three of these products, the pump, the sleeping pad and the pillow, down in the description, and a 15% discount code for you guys. Now there's also free shipping for this stuff. So yeah, check it out. Flextail come through with the goods once again. Very impressed. Also, you know, it's still fully inflated. It hasn't gone down at all, which is what you want. Alright guys, I'll wrap this video up there. Might catch another 40 winks before I get up. I'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers, thanks for watching.